Hello and welcome to this edition of the COLAC Herald Sports Smash. I'm Lachlan, Cowlishaw. Beside me is Ben Martin. Big round of footy and netball, round 2 of course to get through. We've got football, netball, soccer and baseball. So let's not muck around. Let's get into football now with Ben.
Thank you, Lachlan. Now the first round, was pretty exciting. So it was always going to be pretty tough to sort of match that. But I think round 2's actually done this in the football this week. Forest started the season with a bang, defeating the reigning premiers in Birregurra. Forest trailed by 2 points coming into the fourth quarter, but they really hit their straps, led by the Cowlishaw brothers, Dean and Sean. Really got the ball going. Finished the game 10-12, 72 to 9-6, 60 winners, despite the best efforts of young Ollie Butler for Birregurra. He was the Saints' best, while Christian Kelly, the leading goal kicker for the league so far, kicked 5 to take his tally to 9 for the season. The next game, South COLAC, who many thought, I suppose, were going to be the flag favourite, suffered a loss to Lorne. Lorne, who that's the second time that they've beat a top 3 side from last year in 2 weeks. Lorne got the points there, 11-6, 72 over South COLAC at Joiner Reserve, 7-9, 51. Ryan Evans, in his first game for the season, the forward for Lorne, kicked 5 goals, teaming up with Luke Norton, who kicked 2. While Dan Hermans, the ruckman, and Bo Tricky were the best for Lorne. Ben Cox kicked 4 goals for South, and Jake O'Dwyer was their best. So In the third game, COLAC Imperial started their season off with a bang against Elvie, another first gamer. All had the bye in round 1. COLAC Imperial was, looked a bit worried early after Elvie kicked 5 of the first 6 goals. But the Imps sort of hit their straps through. Andrew Scott kicked 3 goals, while the first gamers, Cole Robertson, Jason Green, the recruits, led the way there. Yep. Imps actually came away with a 13-11, 89 to 8-6, 54 win there. So it's a hard-fought win there, and they've come away, so they've earned those points. In the fourth game, Illawarra Biak bounced back from that pretty big loss to Apollo Bay, who hadn't actually won all last season. They sort of had a point to prove against Otway Districts, and I think they've come through and done that. 18-4, 112. They defeated Otway Districts 9-9, 63. A couple of young forwards standing up there to boot the goals for the Bombers. Joel Menzies and Jordan Smith kicked 7 between them, while Tom Miller, the ruckman, was the Bombers' best. Stewie Sutherland, the assistant coach for Otway Districts, was the leading goal kicker there for the Demons with 3 goals, while Shane Kent was Otway District's best. And crossing into GFL news to wrap up the football, COLAC suffered their first loss of the season to the reigning premier Bell Park. Bell Park sort of had a point to prove, similar to Illawarra Biak after their round 1 loss, and they've definitely come through and done that. 20-22, 142. They defeated the Tigers 11-8, 74. But some positives for the Tigers: Jake Carmody, Luke Theodore, and Lockie Simpkin all kicked 2 goals, while Luke's brother Shane was the best there, and a young fella, Paul Brazzani, and Dan Jeffries, coming in for his first game, were also among the best players. So some positive signs there, which is always good. Now over to Lachlan for the netball.
Thank you, Ben, and I'll get stuck straight into the GFL netball. The result there, Bell Park taking on the COLAC Tigers. Bell Park got the points, 45-35. It wasn't without a fight. The Tigers had a super first half, led by defenders Emma Hillman and Sarah Hay. Third quarter fade-out cost them. Also in the third quarter, Shelley Scott's done her ankle, so hopefully she's back this week, but who knows. And Courtney Coulahan led from the front again. She scored 31 of the Tigers' 35 goals. So a good result there, but plenty of work on for the Tigers. In COLAC District Netball news, South COLAC took on Lorne. They went in favourites and deserved favourites. 54-31 winners. Young Tegan McNamara, 30 goals. Sarah Bark, the recruit, scored 24 for South COLAC. Carly Entercott was best on court for Lorne in the coach's eyes. She scored 23 goals, carrying that ankle injury, of course, but she got through the game. Chelsea Spears, best on court for South COLAC as well. Birregurra versus Forest now in the second game. Forest got their first win of the season, but first win for a year or so. They didn't win a game last year. They had a draw against Otway Districts, but they've won this game 51-25. Ashley Williamson led the way for Forest with 26 goals, while Courtney Lawson scored 14 for the young Birregurra side. In the next game, we've got Illawarra Biak taking on Otway Districts. The reigning premiers, showed why they're the reigning premiers. 62-31 winners, a big win there. But Otway Districts coach Eva Vickers said the Demons will take a bit out of this game. They know where they're at now, and they know where they need to improve. Casey Johnson just continued a stellar year. 42 goals. I think she scored 49 last week, so she's just tearing it up in the goal circle. Olivia Patch played a great game for the Demons, 26 goals. Best on court, no surprises. Narelle Frith just having a super season, and Rhiannon White got the best on court votes for Otway Districts. Elvie versus Colac Imperials now. This was the big match of the round. Got a lot of recruits on display here, and they didn't disappoint. Rebecca Scott, who of course crossed from the Colac Tigers, she scored 47 goals to open her account, really dominating the goal circle with Candy Robbins, who also scored 16 goals. The final score there was 63 to 28, so Colac Imperials were 35 goal winners in the end. Best on court for Elvie was Molly Buchanan. She played really well through the middle, and Christy Kennedy there. And Emma Monteith also got a vote in her first game after crossing from South Colac. Let's go into the baseball now. The Colac Braves kicked off their season at Eastern Reserve. Unfortunately, they lost. They lost to Werribee in both B grade and B reserve grades. Of course, Werribee coming down from A grade this year, so having some top players filter through. The final score there was Werribee 9, Colac Braves 7 in B grade, and in B reserve, Werribee 7, Colac Braves 3. So Mark Billing probably has a bit of work for him ahead of him there, the Colac Braves coach, but certainly they can bounce back next week. What happened with the Rovers, Ben?
As Lachlan said, in Colac Otway Rovers news, the soccer team, they probably didn't get the start to Football Federation Victoria's Geelong Region competition that they were hoping for, playing their first game in round 2 after having the bye last round. Maybe a bit rusty compared to the other teams, but that'll come in coming weeks. A 2-0 loss to start the season, bit of work there, but Ryan Burville kicked Barwon Soccer Club's 2 goals, while the Rovers went goalless there. So Dave Latham, he's a proven coach, so hopefully he can get him going and they'll come back and bounce back with a win next week.
Now, to finish off the show, we've got the COLAC Herald Sportsman of the Week. We've given it to a team this week. Ben did the report on the game. It's the Forest Netball Club getting their win against Birregurra. A young Birregurra, but a win is a win, and they must have been pretty excited.
They were very excited. As you said there, Lachlan, it was against a young Birregurra side, so, Forest can definitely empathise with there's sort of a rebuilding phase there, but Forest have come through with the goods. They've picked up a couple of recruits, held on to them from last season, and they've still got Jacinta Grigg to come in as well. So, they went winless last season, but to start the season off like this, they're ecstatic, they're over the moon. So, a couple more to come in. I can only see them getting better from here.
Well done, Forrest, and well done, Ben. Great show. From me as well, Lachlan Cowlishaw, that's it. We'll catch you next week.